How's everybody doing today? Good. Todd broke his foot. A fracture is breaking it. Oh my goodness. How's everybody doing today? How about the weather, right? Spring's almost here. Things are looking like they're on the up and up. It's good to see everybody. Hey, we've got a few things happening today. We've got a few things coming up today. We're going to be kicking back into our third week of our Prism series. We've got a few announcements to show, to talk about before we get going. So the first thing, you're just going to have to kind of be a little bit ahead of me here. This Wednesday is our Exodus XL. It's going to be an all appetizers night. I know nothing about this because I've been out of town. I've actually been in Colorado all week, and Rob's gone today. So it's an all appetizers week, so hopefully you guys can grab your friends. I'm assuming he's going to have apps for days. I don't know what he's going to even have yet. But we're going to be tossing a lot of prizes. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is the night. This is the night where you guys can invite, bring friends. It's going to be a shortened time, and then we'll have a lot of time just to hang out and be together. It's a good stepping stone into like what we do here with our student ministry. So this Wednesday night, 6:30, all appetizers night, and that's coming up. Next thing is, if you haven't already, I think that's the reading plan. Go ahead and go to the next one. If you haven't already been doing this with us, there is a daily reading plan that is on the YouVersion Bible app. And we're in our current series called Prism, and it's a 5-week devotional centered around Easter that just talks about things that Jesus wants us to know and never forget. It is not too late to jump into that. You're not going to be able to do it like with our group right now because we can only invite once. But you can go to the next one. Go to the next slide. You can go to your YouVersion app and just go to the reading plans and search for Prism. It'll be this picture, and you can join in. We're starting week 3. Don't feel like you have to get caught up with it. And if you want to be a part of our group reading plan, you can just search for a friend. Just search for FSM students or FSM Blue Springs, one of those two. You'll see our logo, and just add us as a friend. And then when we send out the invite for the reading plans that we do, then you will be a part of that. So you can go ahead and be a part of that. Is it Kelly? I think you're up. We've got a service opportunity that's coming up, and Kelly is going to talk to you about it. So give it up for Kelly Cram. Oh, we've got more people too. Sweet.
Good morning, guys. So there's a service opportunity that you all can be a part of. We're on Good Friday, which we don't have school, so yeah.
There you go.
We're gonna have where we go on a trip to this place called Christine's Place, which has a bunch of women from all over the Kansas City area that come in, and they have come from all walks of life and have had their ups and downs, but this place has where they give them food, clothing, and a place to rest for a little bit. And yeah, so right now we're accepting donations, and it's by grade, not by
gender and grade. So all 6th graders, all 7th graders, and so on.
So girls, make sure your grades, guys, are participating. And what you can bring is you can bring like all bathroom items, and you can bring like women's clothing, old shoes. You can bring in like old bras and stuff.
New undergarments.
Yeah, new underwear and everything.
No old undergarments.
No old underwear and no old socks. They have to all be new.
But the other clothing does not have to be.
Yeah. And then if you have like any other questions about their Christine's Place and what they do and everything, there's a website as well if you just look it up on Google. So
great. Anything to add? Is that it? Did you want to add something?
If your parents also want to help, there
Yeah.
is an Amazon wish list that
Yeah.
they can donate to, and it's also on their website.
Yeah.
And there's also some others, just information about what Christine's Place is.
Yeah, thank you, ladies. So we're collecting, thank you. We are collecting items until April the 15th. April the 15th, so bring them in. You can even look at, if you get on our social media page, like our Instagram page, these are on that, so you can just hop on there. I think we posted them last week. If you're not familiar with Christine's Place, it was started by a lady named Christine who is blind. She had spent her life kind of being trafficked and has come out of that, and she's created this facility downtown to kind of help other women that have been trafficked to their life, just going through rough patches, and to kind of just feed into them and get them kind of out of that situation as well. My wife goes down there pretty regularly and serves, and it's a great place. Christine has actually stayed at our home. She's a great lady. I don't know if she'll be there Good Friday or not, but there is a volunteer sign-up sheet out on the table at the base of the stairs. If you're interested in serving that day, this is for guys, girls, parents are welcome to come, but that's coming up. We would love for you to take part in that. Next thing is camp. The camp dates are June 13th through the 17th. We would love for you to join us. You can get online and register for that. You just go, I think, to the events page on our website, and you can find all the registration stuff there. If you are in need of like scholarship or something, if it's a little too expensive for you, just come and talk to me or Rob if he's here. If you don't, come and talk to me today. And we would love to get you plugged in. There's always families that are willing to help send some students to camp. But if you are in need of some fundraising opportunities, we've got the garage sale coming up. We just had the meeting last week. So you can sign up. It is not March 27th was sign up. So you can start gathering stuff from people. Just let us know so that we can mark you off a spot on that if you missed the meeting. May 4th, we're going to start setting up. That has a Wednesday night. May 5th, you can bring it up and set up your tables and stuff. May 6th and the 7th, we will have the garage sale. On the 6th, we'll have it from 5 to 7 p.m. And on the 7th, we'll have it from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Am I leaving anything out? Is there anything else? Easter service. We will not have students on Easter Sunday, but we do need help with some service opportunities around the church. Specifically, we need 12 people to help with the egg hunt on April the 16th from 4:30 to 5:30 and from 7 to 8. So we're going to have 2 of those service times. We would love for you to join us on that Easter Sunday. Do we have a sign up for that out there as well? Do we know? I don't know. Kelly, is there a sign up for the Easter service out there too? Okay. Can you make one? Okay. If you wanted to sign up to help out with Easter there, you can sign up out there as well. Is that it? We had a lot today. That's it? One more? Oh, small groups. Oh, yeah. Once you're done with your small group, if you could just like pick up your area, make sure it's cleaned up, straighten up chairs, turn off your lights, all that good stuff, that would be a big help. Last thing. Oh my goodness.
I sent my hearing aids in for repair 2 weeks ago. Haven't heard anything since.
Oh! I love that. Everybody loves a good hearing aid joke, especially middle school and high school students. No, loved it. I've missed you. I haven't seen my nephew in forever. I miss you, Will. All right, we're going to play a quick game today. Take a look at the points. Who's in the lead right now for our team competition? So we've got eighth grade guys with 30 million, eighth grade girls with 40, and I think you're in the lead, eighth grade girls. 10th grade is just behind with 10 million. 12th grade by 0.1 million. It's only 0.1. Yeah. Why did he do that to you guys? I don't even, how many points has he been given out per game? 10? Okay. Then how did they get 30 and 40 million? He's just like randomly giving away points? Okay. Well, we're going to play a quick game here, real quick, called The Sky is Falling Easter Egg Edition. Here's how this game works. There's going to be a short video, and there's going to be a bunch of eggs falling. You have to count how many eggs that is. And you have to be exact. You're going to get points for being exact. Exact. Oh, I didn't even intend to do that. So I don't know how this is going to work, but how is this going to work? Because I don't know how I'm going to Rob picked this game out. Since Rob is out of town, this means Andrew will be way too nice and give everybody points. Hey, that's so mean. He did set this up before I left because I was gone all week. So I didn't even read the fine print. I probably will give everybody points and just call it a day. So you're only counting the eggs in the picture. Let's see. Everybody stand up. You're just going to show me a number on your hands. If you're wrong, you're just going to have to be... It's going to be more than 10. You're just going to shout it out to me, okay? All right, here we go. Let's go look at the first one. Let's go to the first one. If you're wrong, you just got to sit down, though. So guess how many eggs this is. You're going to have, it's going to do a 3-second count, and then they're just going to fall. I'll get out of the way. Okay. Let's see how many it is. Let's see how many it is. Where's the answer? Come on. All right. That one was easy. It's going to get harder. If you got it wrong, just sit down. If you got it right, you're still in. All right, here we go. Let's see the next one. Let's see the next one. I'm trying not to wander on you too much, Chase. All right, here we go. 3, 2. Yeah, they're all going to look just like that. But I hear some 16s and some 14s. All right. I hear 16 and 14. Let's see the answer. Oh, I heard an 18. 14. If you're wrong, go ahead and have a seat. All right, let's go. Next one. Just keep it rolling. I do love how dead quiet they're getting when they're concentrating on counting. All right, here we go. 3 seconds. 3, 2. All right, how many you got? I hear a 25. I hear a 26. You did 20. What do you? All right, let's see the answer. Let's see the answer. 25. If you guessed anything other than 25, have a seat. All right, next one. I will say, I appreciate how many of you are playing fairly, not cheating. That's nice. 3, 2, 1. Oh, you 23? All right, I hear a 23. A 10? All right, what did you guess? 10? 10? All right, here we go. How many? You got to read the directions. So it asks you a specific color of that egg. Little trickery in there. But I got some people that were not fooled. All right, here we go. Here we go. Next. All right, here we go. I hear a 12. 12, 12. Okay, I got lots of 12s. All right, here we go. Let's see the answer. 12. How many do we have left? Quite a few. All right, let's go to the next one. Here we go. I like this game. I haven't seen any of them. Oh, oh. I give up. I didn't even. That one was a lot harder. You got 5? 4. I see lots of 4s. A 5, a 4, a couple of 4s. All right, let's see the answer. 4. All right. How many more do we have? Yeah. Don't yell out the answer. We have 4 more? Okay. So don't yell out the answer. Don't yell out the answer. Just let them pick. All right, here we go. Next one. I don't know why I'm watching back there. I can watch up here. Don't yell out the answer, just hold it up. Don't yell out the answer, just hold it up. Hold it up in front of you. Huh? All right, what's your answer? Okay, let's see the answer. 14. That knocked out a few. Okay, did all of you get that wrong? Everybody got that wrong? All right, everybody got it wrong, so if you were in, stand back up. We're going to do one more. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give your team 2 million points per person who's still in after this one. So if you stay in, you're giving your grade 2 million points per person that's in. All right, here we go. Oh, this one, the gradient, it's going to be tough. Okay. All right. Before you do this, everybody's going to guess a number. You can't guess the same. Closest one wins. Okay? All right. So let's go. We'll just start up here. How many do you guess? 55, 50. What do you guess? 40. So we have a 55, 50, 40, 150, 100, 95, 80, 74, 130. All right, let's see the answer. 151. All right, so we'll give sophomore girls 10 million. Sorry, freshman girls. Freshman girls, sorry. I'm so sorry. Freshman girls get 10 million. All right, go ahead and roll that bumper. So we are in week 3 of our series Prism. We're talking about what Jesus wishes that we knew and never forgot. Today we're going to kind of start with just another quick, it's not really a game, but it's kind of a game. I'm going to throw up a couple of options, better or worse. I'm going to throw up a couple of options. I want you to pick which one you would prefer, okay? So like the first one's going to be Flamin' Hot Cheetos or just regular crunchy Cheetos. How many of you guys would go Flamin' Hot? Okay? How many of you would go just regular crunchy? Okay? All right. What about the next one is Reese's or M&M's? Reese's Peanut Butter Cups or M&M's? All right. So how many of you guys would go M&M's? How many of you guys would go Reese's Peanut Butter Cups? There are no wrong answers here. It's just preference. You don't have to boo people. It's just preference. All right? All right, here we go. Let's go. Next one. How about an early release day from school or a late start day? How many of you guys would go early release? I want to get home earlier. How many of you want the extra sleep and would rather go late start? Okay, all right. All right, here's the next one. How about the next one, a weekend away with friends, so a weekend with your friends, or 1 hour with a famous person? Okay? How many of you guys would go weekend with friends? Okay? How many of you go 1 hour with a famous person? Of your choice. You can choose anybody. All right? Okay. All right. Shh. All right, let's go next one. How about water park or roller coasters? How many of you guys would go water park? How many would go roller coasters? Okay. All right. And was that it? There's one more. All right, here we go. How about Super Mario Smash Brothers or Mario Kart? How many of you are like Mario Kart people? How many of you are Smash Brother people? How many of you are Mario Party people? Yeah. I love Mario Party. All right. Okay. Okay. What's amazing is even though you all chose different things, you probably chose them for the same reason. There were no wrong answers. Whichever you picked was the one that you thought would make you happier with that choice. Right? If you feel like it tastes better or it would be more fun, you picked it. In most scenarios, both options were good options. Not all of them were for everybody, but some of those options you're like, yeah, I'd eat either of those. Or, yeah, I'd do either of those. I don't mind going to a water park or an amusement park, but if I had the choice, I would do this, right? If you feel like it tastes better, it's more fun, you picked it, and you chose the one that you thought was better for you in that moment, right? No matter our situation in life, we are always wanting things that will make it better. We want to ask this girl out or guy because we feel like it would make our life better. We want to break up with this girl or guy because we think that it's going to make our life better. We want to hang out with our friends because we feel like it would make our life better. We want to get a job at Wendy's, not because we think necessarily Wendy's is better, but because it allows us to make some money, and that money is going to make our life better, right? We're thinking about quitting a sport because we think it would make our life better because we wouldn't be so busy. Or we're thinking about trying out for a sport because we think that if we made it, it would make us feel better. It would make us feel like we're part of something, like people would notice us. We think that it might make us better. Does it make life better or worse is a great question. And since you and I only have one life, it makes sense that we get to make the most out of that one life. It makes sense that everything that we do or want to do is based on whether we're making our lives better or worse. For many of us, we wonder about church and faith just in general. Is this going to make life and things better or worse? Hey guys, can you just get off your phones back there? Just like put them away. Put them on like under your chairs. Just don't get on them again. Thanks. Is it going to be fun? Will I be happier? Is it worth it? Will it make my life better? We don't necessarily ask those questions out loud because it kind of seems weird, but if you really think about it, That question has probably crossed every one of our minds in this room at some point. After all, there are people who talk about faith in God like it makes their life way better. They used words like life-changing. Maybe you've even heard someone tell their faith story of how they started following Jesus and their life was changed in a really good way. And stories like that are awesome. They are great. But if you're anything like me, maybe you've found yourself kind of wondering, man, is that even really possible? How can following a guy who lived 2,000 years ago do all of that for me? How can a religion with so many rules make my life more fun or more enjoyable? Does faith in God really make your life better? Really? And if you're asking questions like these, I want you to know that you're not bad or wrong for asking them. In fact, questions like this are what this whole series is about. We've been talking about this idea of a prism. And if you look, go ahead and put up that picture of the prism. Some of you recognize this from a Pink Floyd album cover. But a prism, if you ever have looked at a prism, you look at it one way and it's kind of ordinary, but if you shine a light through it or change the angle with which you're looking through it, you can see something that you've never seen before. And something looks totally different. We've also been talking about how Jesus is like this. When we take a closer look at who Jesus really is, there is always more to discover. There's always something else to learn, and we can see things that we've never seen before. So if you've ever wondered if following Jesus can really make your life better, you're not alone in that. In fact, for thousands of years, people have wondered what God is really like and whether following God is good or bad for their life. In fact, one of the reasons Jesus came to earth is to give us a better picture of what God is really like. Then when he showed up, what he taught and how he lived was different than anybody else expected. And in his teachings, Jesus used illustrations that were part of everyday life back then. And because people were very familiar with things like shepherds during that time, one of those illustrations was about sheep and their shepherd. So it was a concept that everyone would understand and get because that was part of their everyday life. It's like if he came back now, he might use an illustration about TikTok and Snapchat. I don't know. Something that everybody would understand. It would be like you and I hearing about a mailman or a car mechanic, right? It was just an everyday job that everybody understood. So shepherds took care of and protected their sheep all the time. They stayed with them all the time. It was their job to make sure that they were safe and in good shape and protected. And in this particular teaching that we're going to look at today, Jesus refers to himself as the good shepherd and as us as his sheep. So he takes care of us. He moves us where we need to go. He helps us rest in safety. And it was a nice little word picture that he used. Then right in the middle of his teaching, Jesus makes this huge statement. And then we're going to look at John chapter 10, verse 10. So you can pop it up on your phones. You can look at it on the screen. But in John chapter 10, verse 10, he says, the thief, right in the middle of giving this picture about shepherds and sheep and protecting them, he says, the thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. To me, this feels kind of random, right? We're just talking about some sheep. Sure, back then thieves were a problem, but it was a real thing that someone might steal or hurt your sheep. But Jesus is talking about himself as the good shepherd. So how is a thief even part of this conversation? Then he continues, and it gets even more interesting. And then he says, the thief comes to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. So Jesus is making a point here. He's showing the difference between him and a thief. This is why a thief shows up. A thief shows up to kill, steal, destroy. This is why I show up, is what he's saying, to offer full life. So the thief comes to kill, steal, destruction. I show up to offer full life. And honestly, it makes sense why Jesus would say that. The truth is, oftentimes we don't see Jesus as the good shepherd necessarily. Instead, we're tempted to see him as the thief in our life. Bring out the so sometimes we think of Jesus stealing things from our life, things that we're going to be restricted from if we choose to follow him, things that we will lose. We think that Jesus is all about stealing our fun sometimes. Well, if I follow Jesus, if I live like a Christian does, I don't get to have any fun. We think that if we follow Jesus, it's going to kill our relationships. Well, I can't hang out with those people if I go this way. I can't hang out with those people. We think that Jesus will destroy our personality and turn us into some type of religious robot if we follow all of these rules all the time. We think that if we follow Jesus, our future will be stolen, killed, and destroyed. We'll all have to give up our dreams, give away everything that we really want, live a really boring life. The point is this: when it comes to Jesus, though, we're all tempted to think that he wants to take something away from us at some point. And maybe that's why Jesus brought this up in Scripture. He knew his followers would think something about him that wasn't true, so he takes a moment to make sure his audience, us, has the right idea about who he is. Jesus is saying, I didn't show up to take away your life. That's what a thief does, and I'm no thief. I've shown up to make sure that you have life. Not just any life, but in his words, he wants to give us life to the full. Jesus' goal isn't for us to have less of a life. He wants to give us more life and a better life. And that's so different than what many of us think, because somewhere along the way, maybe in church, or maybe in social media, we get the idea that God wants to take away anything that we want and anything that will make our lives good, and that's actually the furthest thing from the truth. So does Jesus wanting us to have a full life mean that we'll get everything that we want, that everyone's going to want to date us, that we'll have 1 million friends or followers on Instagram, that it'll rain down Doritos from the sky, that we'll never get bored again, we'll never have our feelings hurt or feel pain or be anxious about anything? Nope. It doesn't mean any of that. But it does mean that we can trust that by following Jesus, he will lead us toward more of what we really want in life. Things like more fun. Maybe you've never thought of it this way, but did you know that God invented fun? God created the part of your brain that lights up when you're having a great time with your friends. Happiness and enjoyment were God's ideas. Jesus didn't come to take away our opportunities to have a good time. Instead, he says, let me show you a way that brings more and bigger joy, that doesn't fall apart just because you had a bad day. A joy that's bigger than just the moment that you're in. The goal was never less fun, it was more fun. Things like great relationships. The truth is, we all want solid, real friendships. And following Jesus can make you better at finding those kinds of friends and being that kind of friend for others. God invented friendships and community. Ultimately, he wants you to find more of the right kind of people to be in better relationships with, and that give you more of a solid relationship with them. Things like personality. This is a big one. Someone where we got the idea that Jesus wants to take away our personality, make us less interesting, make us less of our own individual, but actually the opposite is very true. Jesus wants to use the ways that we're different, including our unique gifts, including our unique talents, the unique ways that he wired us. The goal isn't to be like anybody else. It's to be more who he created us to be and add that rich mixture of personalities into our family, our community, right? Things like hopes and dreams. What if Jesus doesn't want you to dream for less? What if he wants you to dream for more? What if Jesus has bigger dreams for you than you yourself have? What if he never tries to hold you back, but is trying to pull you toward a bigger, more full, more fulfilling, more joyful life than you've ever even imagined for yourself? Jesus wants more for us than just giving us what we want this minute. He's not a genie in a bottle. He's not a vending machine where we just go up and put some quarters in and punch a number and we get what we want. He's deeper than both of those things. He wants to lead us to more peace, more joy, more purpose, more adventure, more community with one another, more of the good stuff that makes life awesome and in ways that we wouldn't even expect it. I think that what Jesus was getting at in the passage that we just looked at in John 10, he didn't come to steal, kill, or destroy our lives. He came to help us have a real life. Think of it this way. Because of Jesus, we can have life to the full. So how does this work? How do you find the more, better, fuller life that Jesus talks about? I think it may be simpler than we really think. For some of you, the first step is just to say yes to Jesus for the very first time. Maybe you've always thought that Jesus was angry or boring, or that following him means a miserable life. Today, I'd like you to consider this question. What if that isn't true? What if there's another view of Jesus based on who he really is? What if there's a better view of Jesus that could change everything for you? Put that picture of the Prism back up. What would it look for you to say yes to someone who can change your life for the better? Somebody that can change the perspective that you have and make it look like something you've never even imagined. For others of you, you've already said yes to this relationship with Jesus, but maybe you haven't experienced like the abundant life that he describes for us. Maybe for you, it's time for you to say yes to the things that Jesus says yes to. As his followers, so much of what Jesus commands us benefits us and makes our lives better, just as it does the people around us. There are millions of ways to experience this, but let's start with one. What if this week you just said yes to serving somebody? So much research tells us that serving someone else can actually make our own lives better and happier. Serving isn't something that a serious, no-fun God would ask us to do. It's something that makes everyone's lives better, including yours. So what's one way that you could help someone else? I can't tell you how many times I've gone into like service situations that my wife has like set up for us that's not necessarily like my wheelhouse, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not gonna go well. And every single time we go and we help and we serve someone and we get back in the car, no matter how uncomfortable the situation was at some point, we get back in the car and we're driving back home, and I say, man, I'm really glad we did that. When can we do it again? So what are some ways that we can help someone else? We can volunteer to work with little kids upstairs on Easter. We can go to Christine's place on Good Friday and serve some women that have a real crappy life and getting a phone call. That's my wife, too. She should know better. Yeah, I should. Thank you. Thanks, Todd. Here, you want to take the call for me? Yeah. We have an opportunity. You can volunteer at Christine's place and help some women who have a really crappy circumstance in life, way worse than our own. We can volunteer to work with elderly at a nursing home. They'll be happy that you're there. You can volunteer to tutor or mentor at an elementary school. You can volunteer for a mission trip. We're going, Mason, are you going this summer? Yeah? You can go to Nicaragua. with Project Hope. You can get to combine all of the other things with this venture. Identify something, some way that you can serve someone else this week and do it. Listen, I understand that people don't always talk about Jesus like I have today. In fact, sometimes you hear people describe following Jesus like it's all rules and no joy. And for some different denominations, different religions, it is that. It is following rules and hoping that you're doing enough. In fact, that's why we talk about it in this way. We want you to see Jesus at a different angle today, just like looking through that prism. We want you to discover who he is and why he came to earth. And when you know who Jesus really is, it changes everything. Because of Jesus, we can have life to the full. And while I believe that's true, you don't have to take my word for it. This week, I want you to talk with your small groups and your small group leader about what following Jesus really looks like and how he may be different than people typically imagine. So before I pray, we're going to split up into our small groups. All of our seniors are going to go with Becky. And I think if we're just going to do it in the senior room, all of the sixth graders are going to, girls and guys, are staying with me today. We're just going to meet right here, okay? And then everybody else is going back to their normal areas. So let's pray, and then we're going to break up and have some great small group discussion. Pray with me. God, thanks for your goodness. God, thank you for teaching us in your word about the reality of who you are and not what other people think about you. Thank you for not being about stealing, killing, destroying our joy, but giving us full life. God, I pray for these students. I pray against any distractions. God, I thank you for the conversation that we're going to get to have about what living a life following you really looks like. God, I pray that they take the challenge that I laid out for them very serious and intentionally this week. God, that they look for a way to serve someone else. And God, that they can experience real joy and happiness in getting to help someone else. God, I pray against the selfishness of our culture. I pray against the selfishness of our natural desires. God, that we can live for other people, just like you lived for us. And that, God, that we can experience that as a student ministry. God, I pray for the upcoming opportunities between our Easter services, our egg hunts, our serving at Christine's place. God, I pray that you just make this a priority for our students and our families. God, I pray that we can just overwhelm Christine's place with donations so when we go to help out, they can see your joy in us, through us, and that they can be blessed by this ministry. God, I pray for a great time together. I pray for great conversation, and I pray for great opportunities of service that are coming up in the coming weeks. God, we thank you for these students that are here today. I thank you for our small group leaders that make these students a priority in their life, that love them unconditionally. While it may not always be the most fun thing to be down here and leading because of everything that they've got going on in their lives, God, that they make this a priority because they see the value in student ministry. So God, I pray for our conversations today. I pray for Rob and Misty as they're away. God, I pray that you give them rest, some rejuvenation. We thank you for his leadership, and we thank you for just some time to relax for him. So God, we pray for Exodus XL coming up. We pray for great conversations with our friends and inviting so they can come hear the hope and promises of you. God, we give you all of the glory today, and we thank you for your goodness. Amen. All right, sixth grade, come on up here. Seniors in the group or in the regular room, everybody else go to your normal spots. Peace.